welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time. My name is Carly. I am a labor and postpartum doula, and I create content all about pregnancy and labor and motherhood and pretty much everything that falls in between. I just found out that I am pregnant, and I have wanted to do something like this for so long, but there's a very small window that you have the chance to do something like this. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I knew I wanted to sit down and make this video. So I just told my husband that I'm pregnant. If that video is uploaded yet, I will link it here so you can see his reaction and just like our whole announcement and everything. So I'll link that for you guys. But I am currently 10 DPO. DPO means days past ovulation. And if you're anything like me, I was started to take pregnancy test around 8 DPO because I was so eager to know if we were pregnant. When it comes to taking pregnancy tests that early, all of these boxes tell you need to wait until 6 days before your missed period. Some of them, like the first response ones, are known for being 6 days before your missed period. But if your cycle is anything like mine, you're supposed to test 10 DPO and also like 6 days before your missed period. My cycle is about 24 days long, so 10 DPO overlaps with 6 days before my missed period. I'm like 4 days away from my missed period, and I just found out because I'm just now 10 DPO. So the days kind of overlap. So everyone's cycle is so different, and I wanted to sit down and find every single pregnancy test that I could get my hands on and compare all of them and see which one is the most sensitive this early on in pregnancy. Before we jump into it, if you guys aren't yet already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can know when all of my newest videos go live. Like I said, I'm pregnant and going to be taking you guys along throughout my pregnancy journey. Give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far, and let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm so curious to see which one is the most sensitive. I'm gonna sort them by test type so that I can like dunk them all at the same time. These 4 tests say that they want you to read the results at 3 minutes. And then these 3 say that they want you to read the results at 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do these 3 first and then set a timer for those, and then do the 3-minute ones and set a timer for those. And then we'll be able to read all of those at the same time. Pregmate, MomMed, and Accumed. Then we have Easy at Home, DG Health, First Response, and one of the Clear Blues. Timer is up for this first round. The First Response is definitely there. The Easy at Home is definitely there. The HCG/DG Health one, I don't see one at first glance. And the Clear Blue, at first glance, I can't see one either. It looks like if I get close, I might be able to see one. First Response is definitely the one that showed up first and looks like it's the darkest. 20 more seconds on our top row back here. Time's up on that one. Let's take a closer look. Okay, let's compare our strip tests first, because those are the ones that you're not supposed to look at much long after you take the test. So to the blind eye, there is nothing to see, but let's take a closer look. First up is the Pregmate test. Faint line. Next is the Accumed. Faint line right there. Last is the MomMed, which you can see a line right there. In the next category, we've got our dollar store test, which you can see kind like the faintest of line. Our Easy at Home, which definitely has a line. Our First Response, which definitely shows the line. And our Clear Blue, which honestly is the worst of all of them. You can barely see it. I mean, like barely. I have studio lights set up, So it's shining right on it. I can see it, but I could see how that one would get lost. Okay, so let's regroup. Out of the cheap strip tests, the easy at home is definitely the darkest. Then I would say it's tough. It's between the Pregmate and the Mom Med. I think Mom Med. So I would say Mom Med is the next darkest, and then Pregmate, and then Accumed. Let's see if I can get a close-up picture comparing the lines to insert. Those are those. And then by and far, first response is number 1. I don't know, man. This one's pretty dark. It's been sitting for a minute though, so I don't know if that, I mean the evap line on this one seems, I think they specifically say don't look at it. Let's look. Do not read the result after 10 minutes as the result may be invalid. So I think that's just more of an evap line more than anything. And the clear blue is not showing an evap line, which I appreciate. So I'll keep them in this order. But by far, the first response one is the one to write home about, because that line is certain. So that is my order for these 3. And I guess comparing all of them, let's see which one's darker. I said the easy at home one is the darkest compared to first response. Let me take a picture quickly before our time is up looking at these, because we're coming up on our limit. I mean, those are pretty comparable. Pretty comparable. Okay, these are our next 2 up for testing. These both say that they take 2 minutes to take. So we're gonna take these 2, and then we have these 2 clear blues that say anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. So we're gonna do all of these simultaneously since they're right about the same time frame. We will do the digital one last. The blue ones are tricky because the evap lines on these are usually pretty brutal. And if you don't know what an evap line is, it means that when you have taken the test, if you don't look at it in the right time frame, it is a chemical reaction that happens with moisture that leaves a line like 20 minutes after you get done taking the test. So I'm gonna read the instructions to make sure. Okay, this one is 10 minutes, this one is 10 minutes, and this one is 10 minutes. So I'm actually gonna set 2 timers. I am going to set a timer for the allotted amount of time, which is 2 minutes for the test to come up. And then I'm also going to set a timer for 10 minutes so that whenever we get done taking the tests, I know how long it has been. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna do these 2 first and then these 2 together. Came up. We've got 15 seconds left. Time is up. I am gonna set my new 10-minute timer. Let's inspect. So obviously the clear blue one worked, which I just love. This one, let's see. Yes, there is a faint line here too. Can you guys see it? We're looking for a plus sign in the middle. It is very faint, but it is there. Now this one, we're looking for that blue line down the center of the circle, which is definitely there, faint, but there, for sure. And let's take a look at this guy. We're looking for a plus sign. It is definitely not like super dark, but it's wide. So you can really see it, especially in person. It's like all the other ones are really skinny, but this one is quite wide. You see that? So it shows up a little bit more. Yeah, look how wide that is. That's crazy. Okay, so we've still got our timer going for 8 minutes. I appreciate the clarity that this one gives me, so it's definitely my number one out of these 4. But then out of the other 3, let's do a close-up and you guys can see which one you think shows the best. I would say this one's pretty clear. This one, I mean, it's got a line, so it's clear too. It's just not as dark. These 2 have lines, they're just not quite as dark. But this one is definitely darker than this one, and this one is darker than this one. But this one is by far the most clear. So if we're doing a comparison of all of our tests, I think for the sense of clarity this one brings, it's definitely my number 1. I know sometimes it will say negative or not pregnant if you take it too early. But like I said, I'm 10 DPO and this is very, very early on. So this one, I think clarity-wise is the best. And then line-wise, the first response really shows a nice line. And then same with these strips. I am really, really impressed with them. I think that the pink is really helpful when you're looking for a faint early line. This clear blue one is definitely the worst, I think, out of all of them. And this evap line on this one really makes me not like it. So I think this one is definitely a good one. Of the blue ink ones, it shows a nice plus. So I think that would be my next one. These are really good, affordable options. This one's from the dollar store, and this one is like the same price as a first response. So I would definitely skip this one in order to get a first response. But if you have limited options for some reason and you can only get your hands on that, that one's also really nice. But this one's from the dollar store, so I actually might switch these because that one was so much more affordable than this one. And then I'd probably do it like this. So that is the order in which I think are the best. I think if you want that quick answer and you are ready to just dive in and get that like yes or no, the clear blue digital pregnant one is like the way to go. But if it's really, really early, like if you're 8 DPO or something and you just know that digital one isn't gonna work out, I think these first response ones are by far the most sensitive and show the darkest line. So I would get yourself a first response and then get a pack of one of these cheaper ones. I think that these easy at home ones are super awesome because they're so inexpensive and you can take a million of them if you want to and not really feel guilty about it. Whereas all of these are going to be expensive and I think that these are better anyways. So I would skip out on these guys. Get yourself a handful of the super cheap ones on Amazon. Get yourself a box of the first response. And then once you're really ready, man, get yourself a couple clear blue digitals and you can call it a day. This is my official stamp on which pregnancy tests are the best. But that does it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing which tests were the most sensitive, and if you are on your fertility journey and you have been trying to conceive and actively trying, I am holding so much space for you. I know fertility is such a personal and intimate thing, and all of us are just doing our best. And when it comes to taking pregnancy tests, it can be one of the most joyful or one of the most heartbreaking things. And so I hope this video helps you out if you are looking for tests that are the most sensitive and trying to get in tune with your body even more. So I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to subscribe if you are new. Give this video a thumbs up. I will see you guys next week. Bye.